Brains with turkeys and sports. What is going on? My name is Matt. I'm King of the Goons, and welcome to My Brother's an Idiot. And why are you still typing? What is wrong with my audio?
It doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound like your microphone's on, bud.
Stand by. It was.
I just noticed it as soon as you started yelling at me.
Says that. All right. Now, how's that?
Oh, so much better.
There we go.
All right, I'll go back to my corner.
Okay,
I'm not
good.
talking for a potato. You're good.
Did that happen before we got in, or did you just now notice it?
I just noticed it.
It was fine and it went bad.
Oh, it
Yeah.
was fine. Then it went bad. Okay, must have lopped off. Whatever. Who cares? Welcome to My Brother's an Idiot. Okay, that was gross. Welcome to My Brother's an Idiot, where we discuss sports and whatever else we want. Brought to you by our fine friends at Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. Thank you to William Grant and Sons. Appreciate you. Let me kick you around the rest of the squad. First, you can't see her, but you can hear her. We are going old school with the voice of God. She is the dipshit. She is MJ. What is going on?
I'm eating a cookie and it's delicious. And you can't see my name apparently, but my name is that the Taskmaster New Zealand is the best Taskmaster because fuck the British.
As in the TV show Taskmaster?
As in the what?
The TV show Taskmaster?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know there was a New Zealand
All
version.
right.
I have watched a season and a half in like 3 days.
There you go.
There you go. Well, welcome. Good to hear you, I guess. Next, you just heard him, but let's bring him in. He is the owner and proprietor of Knox Nostalgia Collectibles. Make sure you check him out for all of your comic book games, figures needs. He is my down the fort in Extreme Southern Command. Tank, what's going on, bud?
Doing good, man. Kids are off school, so my house is full of noise again.
I remember those days.
Besides that, we're doing good. Everything's
All right.
good. Broncos are winning. I'm happy.
There you go. We'll talk more about that in a minute. And last but certainly not least, the man we've named the podcast after. He is the Kaiser, the Baron, the one with the hair, and apparently he's having an otter body experience. I summon him. Goon?
Yo.
By the way, there's no fucking way you're an otter. You are definitely a bear.
There's so many ways I can go with that.
No, there's only one. There's only
No,
one.
Go the one way that you should go.
There's only one way to go with that.
Okay. Thanks.
Oh, and
Thanks.
a wild toaster has appeared, ladies and gentlemen. We have a toaster on the stream. What is that?
Hi, Toasty.
What the hell?
I don't even.
Oh, it's an otter.
An otter, I believe.
Oh,
it's
is
like an otter.
otter.
It's an otter.
Yeah.
Otter.
It's
on
hard
our
to
Twitch
see
stream.
on the screen, so I'm just
Yeah.
gonna hide that.
How you doing, bud? Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. Happy early holidays. Hopefully the roads and stuff aren't as crazy for you as it was for me on the way home today. I was making a right turn, which I always do on the way home, off of a couple of roads, and this lady decided to push me into oncoming traffic, and I almost got into a giant accident. And people are just crazy this time of year, so be kind. Be nice to everybody, please. Stop being assholes around town, and let's get back to the spirit of what this shit's all about, and that's, enjoying company and being thankful for what we have, and being thankful for I guess no, we're not doing that. I know you still have your Blockbuster card, Toaster, but we are not being kind and rewinding. We're just being kind. We're just going to be nice to people. So but yeah, that's what I got. So good to see you guys. Love you.
Live your life with gratitude. That's the best way to do it.
That's terrible.
Oh, what is that?
Yeah,
Oh,
that was really bad.
Well, your camera just went all futsy. So
Why'd you do that?
wow, look at that. That is terrifying.
It looks. I'm trying to figure out a way to make. Yeah, we don't need to see more of us. Continue.
No, that's fine. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, Tank touched on it. Let's get right into it. The Broncos, fresh off of their nail-biting win against the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday Night Football are at 500, ladies and gentlemen. Mark, I'll start with you. React.
Okay, so I didn't get to watch much of this game. I actually only got to watch the best part. I got to watch basically from Will Lutz's last field goal on. And what I can tell you is that they are buying in, and so should we. I apologize to Vance Joseph. I was very critical of him earlier in the year. Whatever he's doing, keep doing it. He has come up with a game plan that is just baffling offenses left and right. The turnover battle is just crazy. And Russ seems to have turned himself into a turnover-free machine, whatever that means. It's great. And other teams seem to be having a collapse in the AFC at the exact same time. So the Broncos are 5-5, and we are talking, and I know it's very unlikely, but we are talking about the possibility of even the division being, up for grabs at this point. It's not going to happen, but, there is that possibility there. We weren't talking like this 4 weeks ago, guys. This is exciting. It's good to be talking about the Broncos in a playoff hunt again.
Yeah, and Mark mentioned it, Tank, that they're not necessarily in the hunt, but I think they've made the graphic. When you see this is the time of the year when they put the graphic up of division leaders, who's in the wild card and who's in the hunt. How long has it been since they've actually been in the graphic this late in the season?
Oh, that's 100% true. I mean, weirdly enough, like even in 14th place, they were still technically in the hunt because the AFC is just a minefield of what the hell games. So they were already in the hunt, but now they seem firmly established at number 10, which is much, better than it was when we were 1-5. So feeling happy about that. Yes.
MJ, what do you think?
I think.
Oh, there she is.
No, sorry. I have to tap it twice.
Tappy.
Sorry, Mom was talking.
Damn it,
I think
Michelle.
the Broncos. Damn it, Michelle. Fuck you.
Nice throwback. That was good.
I think the Broncos are doing good. I don't put a ton of faith in playoff chances necessarily, but I don't know. Stranger things have happened. So hashtag I want to believe. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, and I actually had this later on in the agenda, but since we're on the topic, I'll go move it up and we'll shuffle a little bit. The schedule lines up pretty favorably, with 7 games left. They've got 2 games that are really going to be difficult, and 5 games they can absolutely win. The Browns, as well as they play defense and the way they can run the ball, are going to present a challenge, even if DTR is playing quarterback. And then there's the Lions. I think the Chargers, both games are eminently winnable. You still have the Raiders coming at the end of the year. And I'm missing one, but I don't remember what it is.
I just pulled up the remaining schedule here. So they've got Patriots,
they've
got
Patriots, yeah.
Browns, Chargers, Patriots, Texans, Lions, Chargers, and then the Raiders at the end of the year. So that's the 7 games they have.
Yeah, so if they go 4-3, that's 9-7.
They could go 5-2.
Or that's 9-8. They could, but the Browns is a toss-up, and the Texans are going to be a challenge.
The Browns are going to have a quarterback.
The Lions are going to be a hard. Yeah, but they are 7-3 and haven't had a quarterback all year.
That's true.
So you're right. I looked at that record the other day, and I meant to text you, Mark. Like, how the hell the Browns 7-3? They're trash.
They're awful.
But they just keep managing to win games.
Ridiculous.
And the defense is really good. They can still run the ball really well. DTR doesn't scare anybody, but I mean, it's in Denver. Anything could happen. But the Lions and the Texans are definitely question marks.
That's a wild statement that we're saying the most dangerous parts of our remaining schedule is the Browns, the Lions, and the Texans. 3 notoriously dog shit franchises.
Right. How far the NFL has come.
Right. And they went 2-1 against the Chiefs and the Bills.
Yeah. Somehow.
If you'd have told me that, I'd have taken it all day long. Like, I don't care what the rest of the season looks like.
Yeah.
I'll take 2-1 against the Bills and the Chiefs.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Oh, it's so cool.
So the outlook for the rest of the season, I think, is favorable. They've got an outside shot. I think the graphic at the close to the end of the game on Sunday night was now they're a 28% chance based on advanced analytics, whatever the hell that means.
It's also gone up since last night.
Oh, the Chiefs losing?
Yeah, it's gone into the 30s now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, so you're saying there's a chance.
Chance. It's a solid 30%, man. It's better than 0.
Right? It's better than nothing. And they still get the Pats.
Still get to kick the shit out of Mac Jones.
Right? Well, if he's even going to play.
Yeah, that could be a Bailey Zappi game.
Yeah, it could be a Bailey Zappi game. And you get the Chargers twice, and they apparently can't beat fucking anybody.
They cannot close out a game.
They can't close out a game. And, you know, the LA reporters are asking Staley if he's going to give up defensive play calling duties. He's like, no, I've already answered that. Move on, and getting all snippy.
That boy got his feelings hurt by that question.
Oh, he sure did, didn't he?
He may make it to the end of the year, but I don't think he's making it much past, January 15th,
If he loses a couple more in a row, he may not make it to the end of the year. They may pull the plug on that bastard.
I don't know if you guys heard any of the talking heads while we had last week off, but the rumor is that Bill Belichick is on the short list to go to San Diego.
Oh God, really?
Yeah. There were several reporters that came out last week, Dan Orlovsky being one of them, who fuck Dan Orlovsky, but still he's a name on a television screen. And he said that he has already picked his next team, and the rumor is that it's San Diego.
Why?
They've got a great quarterback, and he can do whatever with the roster.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
you got a great quarterback, and as bad as the defense is, that still is a pretty talented defense. They've got some players on that team.
They have a talent.
They're going to give him if they get Bill Belichick, they're going to give him all of the power. That is a place where, like, if he goes to Washington, he might have a shot, but he's not going to be full control. That's just not what Washington does. But going to San Diego, those owners don't care. They'll give him the reins, the fucking checkbook. They'll give him everything.
Well, I don't think we know what the Harrises are doing yet in Washington because they've only been there for a little bit. So that very well could be what they do. Dan Snyder wouldn't have done it for sure.
No,
but you never know. Harrises are smart people, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they own a couple of different major sports franchises. You don't do that if you're dumb.
Yeah. That's true.
I disagree. The Pagulas have multiple spare franchises, and I have yet to be proven that they are not smart.
That's accurate.
What hockey team do they own, Michaela?
The Sabres?
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's true.
Been relevant for exactly 1 year in the last decade.
They keep having good players show up there, and then they're like, fuck them, trade them away.
Yeah, fuck them. No,
terrible.
He's got you need back surgery? No, you don't.
No. No, you don't.
No, you don't. So I don't know if it's going to happen or not, fellas and lady, but it definitely looks very, very possible, right?
I
can't see her, so it's hard for me to remember that she's there. God damn it! Don't laugh at me.
It's exciting enough for me to break out the Miles Head hat.
Oh wow, the Miles Head hat is back.
That's right.
That looks like.
Oh my God, the watch speaks again. The watch is gone again.
All right, moving off of the outlook and more specifically into the team itself. The thought struck me, and I know I've said it before, but the way this team is constructed and how they're playing, Tank, and I'll start with you. It reminds me a lot of, not saying it's the same talent level, but it's the same kind of philosophy where it's keep the game close and let John Elway win it in the fourth quarter of the early to mid 80s.
Or
very true.
In 2015 after his arm was broken.
Yeah, also 2015 where Peyton Manning was
2015, Peyton Manning threw it all over the yard.
Launching
So
a
I don't
noodle.
think that's the
No,
same.
2015 was also just that's when his arm fell off and they won the Super Bowl.
That was the half and half year with Brock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I agree. They definitely seem to know what their focus is, and kind of backing up what Mark said earlier. The early evidence was, holy shit, what are they doing? But then we come to find out that they're trying to combine two schemes together to create a whole new defense. And apparently that defense is good because they are 12 turnovers in 3 games or something like that. That's not bad.
Let's talk about a shoe-in for Coach of the Year, though. If they can win and get to 9-7, let's not forget that Frank's twin brother won it last year for a Giants team that he's going to get fired from this year because they went from a 3-win team to 9-7. And that's who won Coach of the Year last year. You don't think Sean Payton and all of his cronies in the media are going to get behind him for Coach of the Year if he gets this team to above 500?
You've got a tough mountain to climb with Dan Campbell. I think if they win that division, that's going to be a hard one to get over.
I would agree.
That's going to be a really interesting race.
How many times, though, is a division winner actually the Coach of the Year? It's usually someone like a comeback story, that barely makes it in the playoffs and that kind of shit.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, but it's the Lions, though.
This is a long-term story. That's why it's going to be the Lions and Dan Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
This is 60 years of history finally culminating in some success.
Right.
Miles doesn't
I will tell you. I will tell you if, and it's a very big if Denver wins the division and they're only 2 games back, you're probably right. It's a slam dunk based on the way they started, the way he held it together, and the way they finished. If that is indeed the case, then you're probably right. But if they don't win the division, I think this is Dan Campbell's award all the way.
Well, and talk about somebody who didn't listen to anyone and just stuck with what they were believing in, and it worked out. Like everyone was saying, get rid of Vance Joseph. Everyone was saying sell. Everyone was saying trade Jerry Jeudy, which I'm still not convinced he's a long-term part of this team. And I don't think he's that productive. Obviously, he's not that productive this year. He's had 1 touchdown all year. And, he has his fun little plays. And he had the one this last week, but he's stuck with the guys that got him there. Granted, he got rid of a couple of bad overpaid eggs, but this team is mostly intact from what they were given at the start of the year. And it's been impressive.
And that all boils down to, and we said it at the beginning of the year, the adult in the room. He had confidence in what he was doing. He had confidence in the system. He knew what the plan was. And as long as he could keep it together and get it turned around, he knew it was going to work out. Guess what? It's working out.
And they're buying in. That's what's, they kept it together long enough that they're like, all right, let's go. Let's keep doing it.
MJ, you got anything over there?
No, I kind of stopped paying attention when you said that it was like the Broncos of the 80s because you assumed that I knew what the Broncos of the 80s was like. But let's go Broncos.
And I will move on to the next bit with one final thing. Hey, Tank. Hey, Tank.
Yo.
Hey, Tank. Hey, Cortland can catch a football.
He still fumbled. Let's not fuck around, okay? He's doing
okay.
better.
He had fumble.
Yeah, he's responsible for the 1 turnover in 4 weeks.
Right.
The last 4 weeks, he's got the only turnover.
He's had the catch of the week 3 weeks in a row. Come on.
I'm just saying. Okay, compared to last year, he is doing much better. Much better.
It's finally healthy.
He is quietly having the season of his career.
Yeah,
right.
He still has questionable hands sometimes, and we're not going to fight that. He does.
Oh, we're absolutely going to fight that. You've got to be kidding me. Okay, pull up the drops, please. Pull them up. You know you're going to look. You know you're going to do it. You know you're going to do it.
I'll look it up.
Pull up. Yeah. Pull up the drops.
NFL dropped.
Well, if we're basing it just on our division, then he's the best receiver in the division at this point.
Right.
Everyone else is dropping passes. Like they're getting paid extra to do it at this point.
Dear God. Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Oh,
You could not have put that ball anymore where it could have been on a perfect throw. And
Yeah, all of
And
them.
the drop in the Chargers game was just ridiculous.
Okay, so let's see. Wow,
Same thing
there's
with
some
Jordan,
good
too.
names on this list. Holy shit. I don't see. Keep looking. I don't see Sutton's name on the list, and this is the top 25 of
Good.
drops in the NFL. He's not in the top 25. A couple of big guys are in this. Holy shit. Njoku's got 9.
That
Tyreek
list is
Hill.
No, and Njoku's been dropping passes all year long.
Yeah.
I was listening
I'm still
to
fucking talking. Shut the hell up. Tyreek Hill has 8. I think that's pretty. That's 1 and 2 is Tyreek Hill and Njoku. Sorry, go ahead. I just wanted to get the Tyreek Hill shot in before I
you're
got
good.
stomped on.
I was listening to on the way back from our camping trip. I listened to Sirius, and there's a NFL radio station that is like Red Zone but on the radio, and they were actually in the Browns game, and Njoku scored, and the Browns commentator actually said, "Oh, he actually caught one." When the Homer announcer calls you out, you know you've got a problem. And I'd be willing to bet that, if Tyreek's getting 14, 15 targets a game, and Njoku's probably getting 6 or 8, that drop rate's got to be significantly
This year,
less.
Cortland Sutton has 4 drops
4.
and 2 fumbles, if I'm not mistaken.
So we're still going to call that questionable hands.
I mean, that's still a lot.
Okay, fuck off. We're moving on.
It's better than last year.
No, you can't. No, stop it. Stop it.
It's better than last year. I'll give you that.
There's your hill. You're dying on that hill again.
I'm not dying on the hill. I'm just saying. Are we going to? Okay, you're fighting me on something that he's doing better this year. Yes, but this is also a comment.
Fantastic this year.
But I made this comment earlier in the year when he was still having drop issues, following last year where he had drop issues pretty consistently. That's a lot. 4 is a lot.
4 drops. 4 drops.
Because I'm pretty sure all of those were in the first 5 games. When
you're gonna have to quantify that too.
I'd have to actually dig through each game.
I
will dig through the game log and get it back to you next week. Okay.
I was going to say, could we not do that now? Because we still got a lot to talk about here.
Right, exactly. Other news in Denver Bronco land, and the news just came across the old Twitter sphere that the suspension for Kareem Jackson has been upheld. He is going to serve the entire 4 games for the hit against the Pastronaut in the first series of the game on Sunday night. Dear God. Mark, I know you have some strong opinions about this. Go ahead.
I know you guys don't think that this is a dirty hit. At least Frank doesn't.
No.
I don't care about that. He hasn't learned how to play football in 2023. And because of that, they are still going to continue to hammer him on this. So if he makes any hits like that, they're just going to keep going at him because he's already done it a bunch. And so they're just going to keep hammering him about it. He hasn't learned heads up football yet, and he's not going to. At this point in his career, he's not going to learn how to play heads up football. And I know you guys disagree with that vehemently, but it's obviously shown that he cannot do it. And people making excuses and all this flat, he leads with the crown of his helmet on too many hits, and the NFL has gone after him. He has to stop doing it. He's going to have to learn how to stop doing it, because if this team wants to get to where they're going, he's just going to have to figure it out. And if he doesn't, I know whatever you want to say, it's an illegal hit. It's not. That's not my debate. He hasn't changed the way he plays the game, and they're going to keep going after him until he does. He has to evolve.
Tank?
He has to evolve.
I think it's targeted officiating. The hit that he put on there that, he's going to get suspended again, was once again a shoulder tackle. Once again, did not lead with the crown of his helmet. He dipped his helmet down, turned to the side, and made sure to use entirely shoulder to make that hit, and was suspended again anyway. He's only had one hit where it was like, okay, you shouldn't have done that. And that was the first game with that shot on Myers, where it was like, all right, you shouldn't have done that. Every other hit since then has been a shoulder drop hit. And 2 of those motherfuckers ducked into the shot. So I understand that he shouldn't be tackling that, but we still see hits like that every single week. Why is he the one getting suspended? Because those hits still happen everywhere. Why is he the one getting targeted?
Why is he still doing it?
Because he's hitting like every other safety in the league still does.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Find me a safety that doesn't lead with the shoulder and go for the face or a high chest area.
But the problem is he hasn't made an adjustment. And
yes,
they are.
They're clean hits.
All right.
They're just angry about it.
That's fine, but he's already been dinged for this. He needs to adjust what he's doing.
I disagree, because I don't think that you should be trying to bend the will
this is going to keep happening to him.
When he's hitting like everybody else in the league is hitting still.
Can't wait for it to cost us a game.
It already did. It cost us the game against Las Vegas.
It'll cost us another one.
Well, not anymore. He's fucking gone for the next 4 weeks. We only got 2 games after that.
So he's still playing 2 games.
Yeah, and
he's going to play 3. He's playing 3.
But either way, like I understand what you're saying, but go along to get along is the worst mindset, and it's the worst way to run your thing. If you have a guy that this is what he's done for his entire career, and he's not breaking the rules, he's just not doing what you want him to do. This is the same, it's the world's full of quarterbacks that now duck their head and run through you like running backs, but we're not allowed to hit them anymore. That doesn't make any fucking sense. It was very obvious what Dobbs was doing. He was taking off on a run. He got grabbed from behind, and then he got nailed. That's his fucking fault. That's not the safety. That's not any tackler's fault. They didn't lower the crown of his head and go target him. He lowered his head to put shoulder on his chest, and that's exactly what happened.
My question is this. 3rd and goal from the 1, running back, and they run 23 dive. What does the running back do with his head when he's trying to get to the goal line?
Turns it into a battering ram 9 times out of 10.
Right. And that's my big issue with the enforcement of this selectively in this case. Because if you're not going to enforce it for everybody, why are you enforcing it in just this instance?
Yeah, because there's still running backs. There's quarterbacks that do it, that will drop their head for the extra yards. We saw it last night.
Now we're just talking about the contradictory nature. Contradictory nature of the NFL in general, which favors violent collisions unless you're on the offensive. If you are on the offensive side, if you're on the defensive side, that affects fantasy football. So that's that. We are talking about the contradictory nature of the entire NFL, and I will agree with you on that. The rule is stupid and has to change, but until it does, he's got to figure out, and it's not going to change this year. Do you think the Raiders are playing us again? And
I know, but what I'm saying is,
be there.
What I'm saying is that's the whole problem. You're hitting the nail on the head. So why you're defending the side that you know is wrong?
Because the rule's not changing this year.
But the rule's not enforced the right way.
The rule hasn't been enforced for the 10 years that it's been in place.
Okay,
right. They're not enforcing the rule. That's the big issue here.
It's targeted officiating.
We can have a conversation about that, but I am just telling you that Kareem Jackson can't continue to play that style of safety and be a contributing member to his team right now, because they are not doing any additions or subtraction to the rule this season. And they're already getting on him about it. So he needs to change, or he's going to cost his team again.
But the reality of the situation is, where is the starting strong safety in this league that doesn't tackle like that, or at least attempt to?
And again, we can have a conversation about that.
That is the conversation. You're not applying the rules evenly. You're selectively picking a guy who had one dirty hit, and even that, it was dirty, but still.
But now every time he is,
it's an issue.
Yes, correct. Because the NFL has made it that way, and they are not going to change.
That's ridiculous. Because
I agree, but it's the
strong
truth.
safeties, that is their literal job. Is you are the enforcer. You are the deep field enforcer.
Frank, I am 100% on your side. The problem is the NFL is not doing anything to change their minds about it this year. So in order to be contributing member to this team, Kareem Jackson has to alter his style of play. If he doesn't, they're going to keep hammering him about it. But if you want to move on and talk about the rule not being, then we just leave that part of it out of there. But Kareem Jackson, in order to be a contributing member of this team, has to play differently.
But that's the whole problem because it's just Kareem Jackson.
Correct.
But they're not doing it to other.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
I think this is the case. I'm
not disagreeing with you.
I'm reminded of the old taco commercial where the little girl says, "Por qué no los dos?" Because it's two things that are right at the same time.
Yeah. Right.
They're enforcing the rule selectively, but they're targeting Kareem Jackson. And we can go round and round and talk about it till we're blue in the face, but both things are true. So Mark,
I guess
think
you
is
bring him
correct
out for
here.
the one play that he's going to get in 4 games and let him knock the fucking quarterback unconscious, and then he can be suspended for the rest of the year. But we'll win that game
because chances are they're not going to flag it, so it's not going to matter. Right. So the only thing you have to do is you're going to get PJ Lockmore playing time. Okay.
And that's good with me.
Right.
He's an upgrade. He's an upgrade anyways. As long as he's healthy, he's an upgrade.
I don't know that he's necessarily.
I wish he could hit a little harder.
Absolutely, an upgrade.
I don't know that he's an upgrade. I think
he's good.
And
I think he will eventually be an upgrade.
I think if the Broncos thought he was an upgrade, he would actually play more.
He's been hurt.
Would have played more before when he was healthy. He would have played more than K. Jackson. He did not when they were both active at the same time.
Right, so but he had only been activated off of the PUP list for 2 weeks at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So he was coming into an already established defense.
If he's ready to go, he's ready to go.
Himself. You saw what happened with the evolution of the defense. They weren't going to change things while it was rolling, but I mean, it worked out for PJ Locke is a better safety than Kareem Jackson. I love Kareem Jackson.
That is the hottest.
Currently,
all right.
No, it is not a hottest.
MJ, what? It is not a cool take. MJ,
hottest of hot takes. I'm just going to throw around hyperbole like it's going out of style.
MJ, you got any thoughts here?
This sounds like the Nazem Kadri on the Leafs discussion. And unfortunately for Mr. Jackson, it's refs be how refs be. You got to deal with it. If the refs are going to call you because you looked at somebody wrong, don't look at anybody. Like, you just get, it's one thing to be like, oh, the rule's called wrong, or the rule's written wrong, or they're targeting someone specifically. But if they're targeting you, then don't do what is making them target you. Just don't do that. It feels like they've done it to at least in the NHL they did it to Nas. They did it to Bunting. They've done it to Stützle and Suzuki. You do one thing wrong, and they're going to get you for that thing every time they see you do anything that's remotely like that thing.
How many times did they get pasta for licking somebody? That's my question.
Well, it wasn't pasta, to be fair. It was Marchand, and they got him for it twice.
I meant Marchand.
They got him twice.
Marchand twice. Okay, good. Right, we're not.
That was not pasta.
Yeah, you're right.
You're not defame pasta.
Whatever. He's a Bruin.
It actually is reminiscent of when they did that to Clay Matthews. Remember when they changed the body weight rule?
Yes.
Every single time he tackled
when he tackled somebody, landed on top of the quarterback. Yeah.
And even when he wasn't doing it, they were still flagging him for it. Yeah.
That's exactly what it's like.
And Clay Matthews was not a dirty player either.
At any point in his career.
And neither one of these guys, and I don't think that K-Jax is by any stretch of whatever definition Vontez perfect. That guy was just trying to end people's lives and did on a couple of occasions. But
did you see when fucking one of the Steelers offensive linemen lost their helmet this weekend?
And Garrett Miles,
did you see this, Frank?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Garrett Miles picked it up, and the offensive lineman ran over. Was like, no.
They all laughed about it. Yeah. That was good.
That
was good.
I didn't mean to throw.
Good call out. Yeah, good call out.
That was funny.
All right.
Like, no.
Fucking Mason at home having flashbacks.
Yeah, right. Oh God.
The mean man. The weird part about that is it like affected him very little at the moment. Like if somebody hits me in the head with the helmet, I'm dead. Like,
You have a lot of adrenaline
Yeah.
going.
I
You can
mean,
take a pretty
Mason,
good shot.
you've got Giles Garrett trying to hit you with a helmet. I think I'm just going to be so full of adrenaline. I'm not going to know what the hell to do with myself because that is a very large, scary man.
I would be dead.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I've walked off a blown out knee out of adrenaline alone.
Yeah.
Your body figures a way out.
All right, we've got some other news to cover in the NFL before we move on. Most of it's on the offensive side of the football. And I know that no one cares about your fantasy team, but Tank Joey B gave you no favors on Thursday. The wife and I were talking about it.
Cost me both games.
Yeah. Talking about it on the way back from dinner tonight. I went and had my favorite sandwich at a little watering hole. I'm like, oh, did you hear that Joey Burrow's out for the year? She's like, yeah, that came out Friday. It's like, I didn't have any cell service until Sunday afternoon. How am I supposed to know this shit?
Right?
All I know is I looked at the damn fantasy scoreboard. I beat Tank by 25, and he had 8 points, and he's out. That's all I know.
Yeah, I lost Joey Burrow. I lost Kenneth Walker, and I lost CeeDee Lamb, all in the first half of those games.
Oof.
That's
I was
rough.
like, oh, that's fucking awesome.
That is fucking brutal.
Mark, we had talked a couple of weeks ago about how the AFC North is strangely one of the best divisions in the league, but now it looks like it's just going to tear itself apart. Joey B goes out. The Browns don't have a quarterback. The Steelers, we'll talk about them in a minute. I mean,
yeah, when the second best quarterback is Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
That's
an issue.
Timeout. I just read that line in the agenda that's coming next year. In part of this. That's okay. I missed that somehow. So we'll talk about that, but I just saw it and so I blacked out. Yeah, the quarterback situation is not looking very good and suddenly makes you appreciate Russell Wilson a little bit more, doesn't it? That he's even here. Because the backup quarterback situation in a lot of these places is atrocious and
like
it's
what happened
disgusting.
in Seattle.
Oh my god,
Drew Lock comes in and was just atrocious.
Immediately threw a pick.
I'm trying to figure out how our guy Trevor Siemian isn't getting a shot in New York.
Well, he's the number 2, so you never know.
I know. He's been number 2.
No, he just got signed to the practice squad. They just
they must have cut him again because he was on the team.
Yeah.
Okay.
They brought him back. They cut him and brought him back, and we'll address that here just a little bit. But Tank, the AFC North looking like it's going to be a complete and utter shit show.
They're getting a familiar face back
for the next 8 weeks.
Yeah, they're getting a familiar face back in the division, though. Yeah, Joey Flacco is going to be on a team again.
Yeah, Joe Flacco is returning to the AFC North. We'll jump around a little bit here. Mark signed to the practice squad in Cleveland. Hey, he's still in his prime.
Thanks, John Elway. Thank you, fucking John Elway. I'd like to thank John Elway for remember that press conference where
I'd like to thank John Elway.
I'd like to start this off by thanking John Elway. Joe Flacco probably still in his prime. I didn't know this. Okay, so I bet he starts this year at some point for them. I'll bet he's on the practice squad for like a week, and he's starting in 3 weeks.
Yeah,
that's what I would say.
Tank DTR has been not good. He's thrown 80 passes for 300 yards. Is averaging about 3.2 yards per attempt. That's just not going to get it done,
dude.
No, that's probably not going to end up going well for them, I would assume. But let's be 100% honest here. Is it really a massive downgrade from Watson, who's had exactly 2 decent games since he joined Cleveland?
It's probably an upgrade in terms of being a fucking human. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, so is Big Ben, which is hilarious.
That's debatable.
Yeah.
That's absolutely
Well,
debatable.
no. I
There's
don't
only
know
one
it.
case of his record.
Yeah, I was going to say we only know of one in this case, and the team wasn't complicit on the whole thing. So I think you're right, but that's like picking which pile of shit to pick through.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which one stacks higher?
Right. MJ, you got anything you want to weigh in here on the AFC North?
I also didn't hear about that Flacco stuff, but
Michaela's got Joe Flacco on her fantasy team by fucking Thursday.
Oh, I might have to drop.
that because I need a quarterback again.
Well, you haven't picked up Tommy DeVito yet.
Oh, fuck.
I think he's still out.
He had a good game last week, man.
He
I don't
did.
know.
Danny, leave Danny alone.
I have no quarterbacks.
I'll tell you what, DeVito is one good game away from me sending the group text that DeVito is better than Dimes is better than Teddy.
Might happen. It might happen this week. We'll see.
DeVito is better than Tyrod is better than Danny Dimes.
That
Danny DeVito is better than Tommy DeVito.
And I'll send it with the gif of the penguin.
Matt, have you seen the Ben DiNucci sound on TikTok?
Yeah.
Have you seen the replacement one of Danny DeVito?
I have seen that. It's Tommy DeVito. That guy's great Italian. Other quarterback news in the NFL. The MILF Hunter has been benched in New York after getting tackled by his own head coach on Sunday. Robert Saleh decided that Zach Wilson's going to the bench, and they're playing Jim Jabroni. Mark?
Tim Boyle is this cat's
Tim
name.
Boyle.
I know.
Who sounds like somebody who came and sat at my bar's name today. Like,
You're right.
Oh,
hey, Tim, are you in the rewards?
I get
he was A-Rod's back up for a little bit there in Green Bay.
Well, so did you hear
played a lot.
So
Yeah.
Matt, you had left the next day, so we didn't get a chance to talk about this. But Aaron Rodgers last week on the show that you really care for, Pat McAfee, who I love, but
I like Pat McAfee.
I love him, but it's funny what he does to people who are never mind. There's a lot of people that hate Pat McAfee, and it's crazy to me. But anyways, Aaron Rodgers said last week that the Jets will have to be in the hunt for him to come back this year. So he is not going to come back and save the team. I figured he would try, like if he was going to like actually come back, like he could be the savior in New York if he came back and led them to it. But he's waiting them for them to be, if they're going to be good, he'll come back. I don't like that move. That's very Aaron Rodgers to me.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's an attention
It's
whore.
very, very on brand for me.
Yeah, very on brand. You're absolutely right.
Well, and it's hilarious because everyone's questioning whether or not he actually tore his Achilles at this point, because he's even bringing up the idea of coming back before the playoffs start. So
When they played against the Raiders a couple weeks ago, no, it was against the Chargers a couple weeks ago. Derwin James asked him if he was coming back, and he said at that point, "See you in a couple weeks."
Yeah.
That was out of his mouth on the field.
Well, sure. I mean, I take that with a grain of salt, right? I mean, it's just two guys talking, whatever.
Apparently, all he needs is mermaid sex noises and oils to recover from injury. So
just a little bit of ayahuasca.
I was gonna say you need a little bit of ghee butter around the butthole.
Little ghee butter, little ayahuasca, little dark room therapy.
Leak out that injury.
A sweat lodge. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Lube yourself with ghee.
The other part of that news is they did elevate Trevor Siemian.
Our guy,
T-Sim, still in the league. That guy's still going to hold a clipboard for another 10 years and make a whole shit pot full of money. And I couldn't be happier for him. Northwestern.
He legitimately might be one of the better backups in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
As weird as it sounds.
I'll bet he starts this year still. I said it when they signed him, in like week 5 that he was going to start. I thought it was going to be against the Broncos, but I'll bet he starts. I'll bet he gets a start this year.
He's a smart guy who can manage a game, come in after an injury and not kill you That's Trevor Siemian to a T. That's
Yeah, I
exactly
love
what
the
you
guy.
want from that. I love him too. I mean, how can you not root for the kid, right?
It's
The
like
kid,
rooting against
like,
Teddy Bridgewater.
like 34. Right. God, I love
Teddy
Teddy.
T-Bugs? Yeah.
I love Teddy.
I
God.
love Teddy. You never did anything wrong.
I know. One thing
He
that happened
didn't
to
do
Teddy.
anything great, but
Well, yeah, and he actually had a chance until he almost died on a Minnesota practice field. So that's
right.
that pretty much derailed any chance Teddy had of being great.
Poor Teddy.
Michaela, I'm going to start this next one with you. The Steelers have finally made the move that all of Steeler Nation has been begging for, and they have fired their offensive coordinator, Matt
Blame
Canada.
Canada. Blame
I was-
Canada.
You son of a bitch. I was about to make that joke.
Let her make the joke. That's why it started with her.
Oh. Sorry.
Motherfucker. I mean, I hear a lot of Steeler bitching. So my understanding is that Matt Canada is garbage, but I don't care enough about the Steelers to give a shit, and would have preferred that they kept him if he was such garbage, so that they would remain garbage. So I guess boo that they fired Matt Canada.
Yeah, you and the rest of the AFC North have that opinion.
I'm curious, Michaela. I don't actually remember if I've asked you this before. What is the reason for your disdain for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Their fans are fucking annoying.
Yeah, I mean that.
Is this
they're-
a Penguins? Is this a Penguins issue? Is that what this is?
No, I don't have an issue with the Penguins.
Okay.
It's just the Steelers. I don't know what it is about them. I just fucking hate them.
You always
Yeah,
have, and I've
okay.
always been curious why. I've never asked you, so I figured I'd get it. It's not a really good reason.
So Tank, how long do you think it'll take Steeler Nation to figure out it wasn't Canada all along, but it's that Kenny Pickett is trash?
I actually don't think that's. You're not wrong. Kenny Pickett's not the best quarterback, obviously, but when you have a guy averaging 12 yards a carry, and then you keep giving the guy that's averaging 3 yards a carry twice as many shots, you fucked up as an offensive coordinator. Because Warren averaged 12 yards again. He had over 100 yards on 9 carries, and they kept giving the ball to Najee, who was averaging 3.2 yards a carry. That's just bad. That's bad play calling. When you have a guy that's that good, doing that well, give him the fucking ball. What are you doing?
I saw this on the bottom line. Actually, I read this in a Twitter. I wish I remember who tweeted this out, but the Pittsburgh Steelers haven't made a coaching change in the middle of the season since 1941.
Yep.
And that was when a co-owner decided to demote himself in the middle of the year. That's the last time that franchise has such stability, whether it's real or not. They believe in stability so much that they just don't change coaches ever.
They don't change coaches at all. I mean,
they've basically never done this before.
Right. And they don't fire coaches. Coaches leave, but they don't fire coaches. They're loyal to a fault. I mean, they've had how many head coaches in their storied history?
Four.
Like
Four.
5.
4.
Is it 5?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even think it's that high. I think it's some bloke. I think it's Knox, and then it's Chuck Noll.
Chuck
and
Noll.
Then,
Bill
Chuck
Cowher,
Noll, and then it's
Mike
Cowher, and
Cowher.
then it's Tomlin. That's 4. It's the early Jabroni, it's Noll, it's Cowher, and it's Tomlin.
He might have had one other in there at some point, but it
not in
wasn't
between Noll and Cowher and Tomlin.
No, it would have been
unbroken
before
line. It
that.
would have been before. I
Yeah.
think it's 4.
Yeah. I think it's 4, but it could be 5.
I'm looking it up right now.
Mark is furiously Googling for the last bit of our
I
NFL
am.
news.
You're
I know.
absolutely right.
I know you said
In the let's see. So Mike Tomlin, Bill Cowher, Chuck Noll, Bill Austin, Mike Nixon, Buddy Parker. There's a bunch of them, but these are all
okay.
Those are super early.
Okay,
though.
yeah. So maybe
That was World War II.
yeah.
so
Like
since 1965 they've had 4 coaches.
Yeah, 4.
That's
Since
pretty
65.
fucking impressive.
That's pretty much. I mean, it's
Yeah.
if it's 4 since before I was born, it's 4. Right?
That's right.
most of those coaching changes were happening during active wartime.
Yeah, that's
and
more in
let's
60
expand the
years.
conversation a little bit.
Yeah.
Since the 1950s, there have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 coaches since the 50s, and most of those coaches, like you talk about in the 50s, there was one for 3 years, one for 2 years, one for 2 years, and then one for 9 years, and then one for 1 year.
Yeah,
there was a bunch of coaches in a row, like short stacked, all through 1964, and since 64 there have been 4 coaches.
Right.
Yeah, they had 5 coaches in 15 years, and then 4 in 60 following it.
Right.
The Cleveland
let's
Browns
go
have had 17 coaches in
20
19 years.
Yeah. I mean, we're in our 5th going back to 2015. So
how many coaches have the Jags had
right
in their entire storied career?
And let's be honest, any coach before 1965 who left didn't get fired. He went to go sell insurance because he could make more money that way. Like there was it wasn't a career back then.
Cleaner.
Yeah, it wasn't a career. He went to go sell cars. Okay.
He went to go coach college football to make a higher payday.
All right. That's enough NFL bullshit, at least as far as the news is concerned. But now we move on to our favorite weekly segment, and the Hitman has returned with his sunglasses. It is time for Pew Pew Pick'em.
Well, I think you should start by taking the sunglasses off.
I don't care.
Okay. It's actually not that bad, but we did not do great last week, guys, and we knew it because you guys agreed on every single game. Michaela, you missed this, but they agreed on every single game.
It was fucking weird.
It was fucking. And it was a good thing because I had fortune telling Yoda, and he still doesn't have good batteries, but he didn't work, so they didn't disagree, and I didn't figure out that fortune telling Yoda didn't work until after the bit was over. So, anyways, it's that time of the week where we do Pew Pew Pick'em. The name of the game here is we are going to pick games in the NFL for Week 12. There are a full 16. What in the absolute fuck just happened?
I'm like an accident.
It sounded like tubular bells for a second. There's a full slate of 16 games this week, guys. NFL decided nobody needs Thanksgiving off. Everyone else gets the day off, but fuck, the NFL players all going to work this week. It's fine. They make millions of dollars, so they can do that. Anyways, so full 16 games. I have the names of the teams. I have the spreads, and we're going to pick these games. Last week, everybody, we gave away 6 appetizers. Not great. Not great.
But
not,
how many people?
Awesome.
How many people do it every week? That's the important question.
20.
All right, so we were 14th, or we were top 6 out of 20. That's still top quarter-ish.
It's not good enough.
All right.
It's not good enough.
Well, considering we didn't give any away the week before that, I think the Hitman still prevails.
But
it's an average of 3 a week.
In order to maintain our Hitman streak or get right back on it, we have a new tiebreaker. Not a new tiebreaker, but we have welcomed in our old tiebreaker, Michaela, to the podcast. Hello, Michaela.
Hi. I've been here the whole time.
Yeah, I know. But this is the bit. So we're going to pick these games. I give the gentleman 8 seconds to give me their winner after I tell them the names of the team. And even if they agree, I'm going to Michaela because she always has something funny or insightful on all of these games. So here we go with Week 12. Thursday morning, the Lions are always playing in Detroit. They're welcoming in the Green Bay Packers of my beloved wife who is in the other room. We picked the Packers, honey. Let's talk. Let's talk. The Lions are at home. They're favored by 7.5. Frank, do they cover?
I'm surprised that's not a bigger margin, to be honest.
It is Tuesday. It is
True.
Tuesday. Early lines again from betmgm.com. Forgot to mention that. Matt?
Lions win, but I don't think they cover. Jordan Love looked better last week.
I'm telling you, he's a second half quarterback, and he's starting to pick it up, I think. So, Michaela, what do you think about this one?
Dan Campbell becomes more my favorite coach every minute. I love him.
The hell did he say this time? I saw him on TV and I couldn't hear what he said, but I'm sure it was
Right.
magic.
It was.
Next
So
game
we're
on
not
the
doing your
docket
Lakers thing.
is also Thursday for the holiday. The Washington Commanders are going on down to Dallas to face them Cowboys, where the Cowboys are favored at home by double digits right now. It is an 11-point over Washington, who actually looked pretty good last week, I thought, weirdly enough. Matt, what do you think about this one?
Cowboys can't beat anyone with a winning record and beat everyone with a losing record. And that's all they've gotten so far. This is Cowboys all the way.
Do they cover?
Yeah.
Okay. Frank?
I'm gonna have to take the Cowboys as much as I don't want to. They're
Cover?
a better team. Yeah, I think so.
Michaela?
11 is a big number. Cowboys win, no cover. I don't like the number 11.
Just the number or the size of it?
The size of it. It's girthy.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
11's a lot. Yeah. 11's asking too much.
It's girthy. I will never look at the number 11 the same ever.
That's not the kind of thing you say in a conversation with your uncles. Okay.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you. It's girthy.
It's
I'm
girthy.
glad I'm not going to be there for Thanksgiving this weekend.
Neither am I. I'm going to be at your house.
Yeah, you're going to be at my house.
She's not
that's
going to be
right.
there either. Anyway, so we picked the Cowboys in that one with the
Oh God.
girthy 11.
Really 11.
I think that's hilarious.
Like a
Anyways,
movie series.
the final game of the evening on Thursday is the San Francisco 49ers going up the road to Seattle to face the Sea Chickens. The Sea Chickens are at home, but the 49ers are favored by a full 6.5. Frank, what do you think about this one?
I think it's going to be closer than 7, but I'm going to still go with the 49ers.
Matt?
The 49ers look healthy. Geno does not. It's the Niners.
That's true.
Yeah. Michaela?
I don't like the Sea Chickens, even though I like birds. Niners.
Yeah, and the last time you picked the Bluebirds, they fucked you over on this. So we're just going to, Sea Chickens, stupid. All right, carrying on. The next game is fucking stupid chickens. The next game, we're going to go all the way back to the East Coast now, where the Miami Dolphins are leaving the confines of South Beach to go up and face the guy we were talking about in Tim Boyle and the Jets. Matt, the spread here is the Dolphins are rolling on the road by double digits. It's a 10-point spread right now. What do you think?
It ain't fucking enough. Go Fins.
Frank?
If Simeon Toast Crunch was playing, I might lean towards the Jets being a little closer, but Dolphins. This looks like a pretty big beatdown game for them.
Michaela?
If the Jets were getting other former Broncos backup quarterback, most outstanding player, Chad Kelly, then I would believe in them, but I believe in Sean McVay better.
Good fucking call out on the Chad Kelly, most outstanding player in the Canadian Football League this year. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for getting that in there. Really appreciate that. And you slid it in nice and natural. Unlike sometimes when we try to get Gene Mingo in there. All right. The Carolina Panthers are the next game, and they are going into Tennessee.
Solid.
Why are you sandbagging your own thing?
Solid.
I was just trying to throw it. I thought it was okay,
solid.
right?
I'll give you that one.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I'll give you that one.
Yeah, I was just trying to make it more natural. Is why I kept going. Panthers going on the road to Tennessee, where they are stinky winky, but still at home, favored by 3.5 right now. Matt, what do you think?
Fuck, I hate goddamn Tennessee so much in this game, but I can't pick against them because Carolina's so bad.
Okay, Frank?
I think we should throw this game into a fire. And, Titans, I guess, but God, who cares?
Where is this game?
It's in Tennessee.
Can that stadium just slide into the river and just take it with it? It's right there on the bank. I've seen it. I've been 200 yards away from it. It's right there on the bank. Just slide the whole fucking thing in. Nobody will know what happened.
Start over. Anyway, Michaela, go ahead.
It's gonna be a 6-3 horrible fucking game, Tennessee Titans.
It's gonna be like fucking 3-2 or some shit.
Mayo Man gets a rushing touchdown.
Oh man, I wonder if there's ever been a
Captain Mayo.
3-2.
Hey, Michaela, you want to see your uncle gag? Eating a banana with the peel on.
While drinking coffee with mayo in it. Jesus. I put a lot of things in my coffee. Mayo is not one of them.
Yeah, you love it when some dick winds up in there. Anyways, so the Jacksonville Jaguars are going. I don't know. I couldn't help myself. It's not true. It's not true. He doesn't like
That
dick in his
sounds
coffee.
painful for whoever's dick is in the coffee. I'm gonna go ahead and say that.
Could be cold brew.
It's gonna come out like one of those Ripper hot dogs that they deep fry.
It's like when Tank walks into the stadium. Those hot dogs are different.
That was the actual smell people dip in the
That's so funny. Like, oh, the hot dogs smell different. That actually happened, Michaela. I was there.
Oh, it did. 100% it did.
Oh, it's the greatest fat guy moment in the history of fat
Oh,
guy
yeah.
moments.
We got
hot
up-
dogs smell different.
We got up to the fifth level. That's the first thing Frank says. Oh, the hot dogs smell good. They smell different.
Yeah. And then he went and got a hot dog. He's like, God damn, they are different.
Much better hot dogs now.
so
If I didn't see it happen, I wouldn't have believed it.
Right.
All right. Anyways, the Jacksonville Jaguars are leaving Jacksonville and going on the road to play in Houston. Texans are there, and the Jaguars are currently favored by 1.5 with this one. This is kind of an early game of the week candidate for me. Matt, what do you think?
Give me the Jags. Houston is good, but I don't think they're quite good enough, and Jags are starting to put it together.
Frank?
Surprisingly important game at this point in the season. I think Stroud has a bounce back this week from last week's woes. Texans.
Michaela.
Ooh, tie break.
I'm gonna give it to Neil because his Aggies did something, but he won't shut up about them. Go Kitties!
So
Cousin Neil is a graduate of New Mexico State, home of the Aggies, and they went into Auburn and beat them and walked out $1.8 million richer with a win.
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious.
fucking awesome, man. That's so good.
I love when that happens.
Right.
Fucking SEC. Fuck them.
I love when the cupcake
Dirty ass
floats in
SEC.
the backyard. I love it.
Yeah, love it. So speaking of things sliding off into a river, this is a pile of shit where the New England Patriots are going on the road and they're going into the home of Frank's twin brother, Brian. The Patriots are going into New York to face the Giants, and the Giants are favored by, the Patriots are favored by 3 on the road. Matt, can you make sense of this one for me?
Mac Jones is trash. Give me the Giants. They got Saquon. I mean, that's all I got. They got Saquon. I mean, whatever.
Frank?
You said it wrong. They're not going to New York. They're going to New Jersey because that's where all their games are played.
Right.
I have the Giants because this game sucks and who cares?
Okay.
Tommy DeVito with another 2 touchdowns.
Get ready for that text on Sunday.
Oh, I hope so.
DeVito, better than Tyrod, better than Dimes.
I'm expecting it this week.
This game's all of a sudden important for no reason because you guys just couldn't pick the same. So, Michaela, makes sense of this.
We
one.
did.
We did pick the game.
Oh, did you guys?
Yeah,
pick
we
the
both
game the
picked,
same?
yeah, we both picked the Giants. I said
No,
Mac
pick the
Jones is
Giants.
trash. Give me the
For
Giants.
different
And they have-
reasons.
Okay,
they
sorry.
have Saquon.
Sorry. I misunderstood you. Okay, perfect. Michaela, still give us some insight.
Tommy DeVito is new Ben DiNucci.
Filling me with any hope.
Ben DiNucci.
All right. An AFC South showdown where the Saints are leaving New Orleans and going into Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Saints currently favored. NFC. Did I say AFC? Oops, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on. The Saints are currently favored by 1 on the road. Frank, what do you think?
I agree. Well, wait, no, I have Atlanta favored. Really? Okay. I think until Arthur Smith gets fired, I can't trust that team, so I'm going to go with the Saints.
Matt,
Desmond Ritter is trash. Give me the Saints.
Michaela.
I am morally obligated to pick the Falcons over the Saints because they're stupid, sexy sack Saints. Stupid, sexy sack Saints.
And the Falcons are birds.
And the Falcons are birds and they're red.
Redbirds, kind of red and blackbirds.
That's because they keep
Dirty
getting
birds.
smacked.
Caca.
Dirty birds. Remember the dirty bird? That was great.
Mm-hmm.
Next game is suddenly not a very good one either, where the Pittsburgh Steelers are going on the road to Cincinnati. This is ugly, but at least Kenny Pickett started a few games. The Steelers are on the road favored by 1 right now. Matt, what do you think?
Kenny Pickett is trash. Give me the Steelers.
Okay, Frank.
Is it Jake Browning who's starting for the Bengals? Yeah, that's weird. I'm gonna go with Steelers because Matt Canada's gone.
Michaela, pick the Steelers for us.
No.
I get it.
I knew that was going to happen, but I went there anyways. Is that all you got to say about this one, MJ?
Yeah, this game is going to be bad.
Yeah, speaking of bad games, let's talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going on the road into Indianapolis, where the Colts are at home, favored by 2.5. Matt, what do you think?
Baker Mayfield is trash. Give me the Colts and the power of the mustache.
Frank?
The Colts just got rid of one of their better players, which is interesting. I'm going to go with the Buccaneers, even on the road.
God. TK. Okay, Michaela, pick this one for us.
Mustache stronger than MILF Hunter.
The MILF Hunter is the third string quarterback in New York.
I thought fucking. Oh
Baker's
yeah,
not
it
MILF
is.
Hunter, I don't think.
It is. I mixed up my mediocre white boys.
It makes sense. It's easy to do, right? They all look alike.
Baker is better than Wilson.
I'll give you that, but they're both trash.
Baker Mayfield is trash. I can call it every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes one that's a little bit closer to home. In fact, it's at home here in the Mile High area where the Cleveland Browns are coming into town versus the Denver Broncos, who currently have a 2.5 point lead in the standings on this one. Frank?
I will be at this game, and I am hoping and thinking that it will be a Broncos win at home, just because they have no offense on the Cleveland right now.
Matt?
It'll be a 4-point game because Cleveland runs the ball decently, but DTR sucks. Give me the Broncos.
Michaela?
That's the sound of the Broncos running over the Browns.
I would also like to say that I just don't like it when Cleveland comes to town. Their fans are awful. They are the worst. I mean, Raiders fans are whatever anymore because they're just kind of their team's so bad. But God, the Cleveland Browns fans are just fucking awful. Anyways, speaking of awful, here's another great game for us where the Los Angeles of St. Louis Rams are going to the desert to face the Redbird Cardinals. Rams are on the road favored by 1 right now. Matt, what do you think?
God, can I trust the wee one? No. Give me the Rams. And they're running back coming back. So yeah, give me the Rams.
Frank?
God, this feels weird. I think I'm going to go with the Cardinals. God, that feels weird.
I'm going to go ahead and circle because I know what we're going to get here. But go ahead, Michaela. What do you think about this one?
Redbirds are cool. Caca.
And you
also, I support short people.
I was going to say, you stand the wee one. So
yeah, he's my height.
Yeah. Big game, guys, here, especially if the Broncos are going to have any kind of playoff chance. We really need a stomping in Philadelphia, where the Bills are going in to take on the Eagles. The Eagles are currently at home, favored by 3 in this one. Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, the Bills don't have the horses to play with the Eagles. They're the best team in the league right now. Give me the Eagles.
Frank?
Yeah, even with a slow start last week with the Eagles, they put it together like they should. Eagles take this one all the way.
Michaela?
Supporting the Eagles. I forgot what I was going to say. Birdies.
So confused. Was there going to be more there?
I forgot what it was. Caca.
Okay. Anyway.
Fly birds fly.
Yeah, there was going to be a segue there. It's gone now. Chiefs are going to Las Vegas. Raiders are at home, bringing in the Chiefs, who just come off of a big loss. Chiefs are on the road right now, still favored by 9 points. Frank?
I'm assuming that Andy Reid is going to throw footballs at these assholes until they learn how to catch. I'm going to take the Chiefs.
But the memes are so good. The memes. Matt?
Yeah, I don't see the Chiefs losing this one. I don't see them not covering, even though I would love to see them lose.
That's enough. Michaela?
This has the potential to be a bigger disaster than the F1 first practice in Vegas. Haha, irrelevant. Go Chiefs.
We will get to that here in a moment. We've got 2 more games. The Baltimore Ravens are going on the road, where it won't be a road game because it never is when you're in Los Angeles for a Chargers game. The Ravens are on the road in this one, favored by 3.5. Frank, what do you think?
The Chargers will continue to Charger. Ravens win.
Matt?
Brandon Staley is trash. Give me the Ravens.
Yeah, that's a sore spot for the media right now.
MJ?
I also don't like Brandon Staley. Caca.
Blackbirds. Call, bang, fuck, I'm dead. Anyways, the Monday Night Football game this week is also not a very good game, if I'm being honest. The Bears are going to Minnesota to take on the Vikings, who are at home right now, favored by 3.5. Matt, tell me about this stink pile.
The Vikings aren't terrible, and the Bears are. So the less terrible of the two, please.
Okay, Frank?
Until Eberflus gets fired, I'm not going to say the Bears are going to win anything. So Vikings.
Michaela?
The Bears fucking suck. Go Vikings.
Yeah, that is a clean sweep. And that is the end of this segment. But before we get to the end, I need to make sure we go back, because this week and every week that Deshaun Watson is on the roster for the Browns, I will say on this that fuck the Browns. Anyways, back to you, Matt.
All right, very good. Thank you so much. Great job, panel, with Pew Pew Pick'em. Before we kick ourselves off into the dark night that is the holiday weekend, we would be remiss if we did not throw it over to our resident engine nerd, MJ, to break down the latest news in F1 and the recent Vegas Grand Prix. MJ, take it away.
Yeah, this isn't going to be like news. This is going to be closer to what I do with the NBA, in that I have a bunch of notes.
Which is always brilliant. I love it. I can't wait. This is always amazing.
So Saturday afternoon, while I was at work, I put down bets on BetMGM, hashtag sponsor us, for the F1 race. And I did write down that the BetMGM would not let me parlay my F1 bets. However, I will take that as Jesus Christ telling me that I did not need to in this case, and therefore I'm cool with it. So the Williams cars, I'm going to explain these as I'm going to try to do my best to explain this as I'm going. The Williams cars are like, the Jets, they suck, but they do okay if there's a bunch of straights and they go really fast. So the F1 track in Vegas was a bunch of straights and go really fast. So they qualified very good. So I bet that both Williams drivers would get points. I wanted to just bet that one of them would get points because I don't trust the only American on the grid. His name is Logan Sargent. But I couldn't do that. So I bet on both of them. So both of them, I said, would get points. Mercedes has Mr. Broncos owner Lewis Hamilton, but their car no likey straight. So I bet that neither of them would get points because fuck those guys. And then the other bet I took, which was mom described as essentially doing slashes, was that I picked that Max would be ahead of Checo, Lewis would be ahead of George, and Charles would be ahead of Carlos. Not necessarily saying what positions they would be in, but just that they would be ahead of their teammates. George is the T pose guy that I sent a picture of. He does the T pose. Max is Max Verstappen fame. Lewis Hamilton, as I said. Yes. That's his second theme song.
But it's the best one.
Lewis Hamilton owns the Broncos. Checo, I'll switch between calling him Checo or Perez, but he's the other Red Bull guy. Carlos is the smooth operator and also Chili, and Charles is the Leafs. So I cheer for him. And then I also wrote down that I slept through the race because it was at 11 p.m. on a Saturday night, and I'm lame. So I watched it Sunday morning. So the race started, and then they went to the first turn, and immediately Fernando Alonso spun and bonked into Valtteri Bottas, and Sainz and Lewis crashed, and it was a whole big mess. And then everyone was spinning out, and Max Verstappen passed Leclerc and like kind of pushed him off the track, and Leclerc was like, "Oh, you pushed me off the track! What a fucking asshole! That guy deserves bad things to happen to him." It was very big drama. And then they were reviewing it for penalties because they can give penalties and review it and shit. So better than the NHL vis-a-vis refereeing already. There's another guy named Lando Norris. He got in a big crash. But he ended up being okay, and they got pictures of him afterwards in the hospital, all fucking fented out because they gave him a bunch of pain meds. And people were joking that his team was going to go over their essentially salary cap because he had to pay for an American hospital stay.
Wasn't Lando the one that crashed, missed the turn, and then completely went like another 3/4 of a mile down Las Vegas Boulevard?
Well, he didn't go 3/4 of a mile. It was like a hot 100 yards, maybe.
Okay, but that was that straightaway, right? The turns, but Las Vegas Boulevard continued, and he just kept spinning down the road.
Yeah,
right there in front of TI.
Yeah,
okay,
that was him. And then so after the Lando crash, they gave Max a 5-second penalty for the thing with Leclerc, and he said, "Okay, thanks, send them my regards," like he's a fucking Game of Thrones character on the radio.
Pretty good.
And
F1 radio is pretty good. There's some good stuff.
It's pretty peak. This is also where I noted or mentioned that if you haven't been paying attention, the Max drives a Red Bull car, and he's A, the best driver in the world, and B, in a fucking rocket ship with wheels. But Leclerc passed him on pace, and I got very delulu for a little bit. I was very excited. Because he was in the lead, and that doesn't happen because he doesn't experience good things. I also at this point wrote down that the Williams are not doing well. TM Logan Sargent, I think, was in P16, and he started in P6 or 7, so not great there. Verstappen tried to pass George Russell because he had a pit and then came out, but while he was pitting, he had to take his 5-second penalty. And Russell just kind of turned into him and like smashed into him a little bit. And there was a safety car, but there's that Family Guy joke where it's like that lady and she says, "I turn now and everyone else, good luck." That's what George Russell does. He got a 5-second penalty for that too. And then after the safety car Checo passed Leclerc, and I was frowny face. This is only one frowny face. We must count the number of frowny faces because there's about to be more.
Jesus.
There's a
So
team
one.
called Alpine, and they're both of the drivers are from France, and they were going at it. And so I wrote down the Frenchmen are fighting, and then one of them passed, like his team got on and said, "Hold position, don't pass your buddy." And he said, "Yeah, you know what you can hold is my fucking beer." Vroom, and passed his buddy. So yes, Mark.
So is that
Oh, we're
another?
counting.
Yeah, I'm count. You told me to start counting, so I'm counting them.
Okay,
did say
well, you're
that.
counting. We're counting faces.
Yeah.
But you do get to count the second one because Leclerc passed Checo. Hooray! One smiley face. Yay! And then Verstappen passed Leclerc. Two frowny faces. This is also where I wrote down that this was a really good race and that Europeans are wrong, because all the Europeans were bitching that this would be a bad race, and it was a really good race. At this point, also, Sainz and Lewis were coming up from the back after their big crashy thing at the beginning, and Oscar Piastri was doing okay. Oscar Piastri is the other McLaren, who's Lando Norris's buddy. He was doing okay, but this is the only time I mentioned McLaren at all. And then this is also where I wrote down that I ripped the Williams point bet because they were both in like P15, P16. So fuck me. Then Leclerc got passed by Checo, so that's 3 additional frowny faces.
Oh.
I also wrote down me think Mercedes bet is also off because George and George was in like 4th, and while he still had a 5-second penalty, they still get points above 5th. And what's his name? Hamilton was coming up, so I wrote down that unless George do more George shit, rip Mercedes bet. But then Leclerc passed Checo. This is 5 whole smiley faces because this was the last lap of the race, and that put Mr. Leclerc in um, second place. And he passed the Red Bull again on pace. I was so stoked. I was jumping around. And then Max won, and Charles got second, which Charles had pole position. He started in first, and Max won. Charles has had pole position 12 times this year and has not won any of them. So traditions. But I did hit the Max better than Checo, Lewis better than George Russell, Charles better than Carlos bet. So I won. I put $5 on 3 bets, so that's $15, and I hit the one for $18.50. So I, in total, made $3.50. Thank you, based MGM gods, for not letting me parlay my shit. That was good for you for keeping me from being stupid. They shoved him in a limo afterwards. Normally they put him in like a trailer before they put them up on the podium, but this time they got to drive a Rolls-Royce limo around. And then also all weekend, Max Verstappen was very pissy about being in Vegas, and he was like, "Burr, burr, burr, this is all very showy and not about the sport, and, burr, 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 and I don't like the track, and I don't like driving it." And then after he won, he sang "Viva Las Vegas" on the radio very loudly. So methinks that he likes Vegas now. Da 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 da. That's it. That's the end. You can stop counting.
I have 8 smiley faces.
I have 7 frowny faces.
That sounds about right because Leclerc got second place. So one more smiley face than frowny face.
Plus, I get a smiley face for do 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 do.
Max Verstappen. All right. Thank you very much, MJ. Good breakdown. Your notes are always spectacular. Thank you. Well done.
Thank you.
All right. Before we go and celebrate Turkey Day and spend time with family and loved ones, as you all should and must do, let's go around the horn. And since MJ just spent a whole bunch of time talking, I'm going to give her a break. And Tank, we'll start with you.
Yeah. So you can find me at Knox Nostalgia Collectibles and at Tank Knox on all the socials. Yes, I do have a bunch of crap for you to buy your kids or yourself for Christmas. Come find me. You can also find us on the Nerds That Know podcast. I think we're going to be live next week.
Yeah.
Should be. And fuck Tony Brothers for kicking Joker out of the game.
Two things. First of all, Tank just posted a bunch of stuff on Facebook under Knox Nostalgia Collectibles, so make sure you go check that out. I saw that today. Second thing, Joker absolutely wanted to get thrown out of that game, which is why he quit dribbling the basketball and just looked at him and did the whole Joker arms out twice. He knew exactly what he was doing. So, and they still won the basketball game without Malone or Joker in the second half. So there you go. But you're right. Fuck Tony Brothers because he's a prick. MJ.
Yeah, if you squint really hard, you can see me holding an ice pack up to my ear, because I fell into the corner of a wall and bruised my ear cartilage. That's the only place you can find me, though.
So are you nominating yourself for Dipshit of the Week?
Potentially. I did. I mean, I was trying to get a jar of peach salsa out of the linen closet, and my hand slipped, and I fell and smacked my head against the corner of the wall.
Ouch.
So I'll take that L.
Thank you for answering my next question, because I was going to say, how in the world do you manage to fall into the corner of a wall? But thank you.
That salsa is dangerous.
Yeah, hope you feel better. Mark?
Yeah, so definitely want to check us out with the nerd stuff. We just got back from Santa Fe and had some time in Meow Wolf, the House of Eternal Return, which is their first installation, and we got to hang out with this guy named Michael, and he is his title on his business card, if he were to have one, would say Master of Lore. So he's in charge of the story for the entire company. And so it was very cool just seeing him. You know, we got to hang out at the house, and he was showing us some Easter eggs. Like, you know, if you walk in and it's a big house inside, and that's the first thing you see when you walk in is this big house front. And there are like 36 dragons built into like the lighting, you know, like the lamp hanging down as a dragon, like holding onto the light bulb, and all the crown molding is dragons. And that is a reference to George R.R. Martin, who bought them the bowling alley so that they could do that, and was their first big investor. And just cool shit like that. It was just very neat. We're going to get to beta test something for them later this month or next month that I'm really excited about. So you'll see some stuff for that. But yeah, check us out with the nerds. There's some really cool stuff hanging out there.
George R.R. Martin also noted Santa Fe resident, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm still kind of hoping we get Winds of Winter, but I know it's never going to happen. Just definitely happen. Yeah.
Michaela is definitely Dipshit of the Week.
Right.
On herself.
She broke her computer, I think.
Oh no.
No. Discord just says I broke it.
Mm-hmm.
What she broke, we're not sure, but she hit a button and it's broken.
I don't even see anything on Discord.
It's on the My Brother Is a Nerd That Knows.
Yeah, I usually get those notifications. I don't see it. That's funny.
Oh, yeah, it says I broke it. I hit a button.
I hit a button and I broke it. All right, well done. I broke my browser. There we go. Good job. It died.
It died.
There you go. Put that up. You got to put it die up. There you go. It die. Good job, Mini Lobby. Right.
Screenshot this for longevity.
There we go. Yep. Take the picture. Because,
there we go.
Well, as always, we really appreciate you spending time with us. We have sad Brian Hoyer is sad. Yes,
that's her picture.
Yeah, I know. We appreciate you spending time with us. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed entertaining ourselves, because we half as good a time as we did, then you had a pretty goddamn good time because we make ourselves laugh. Have the best of holiday weekends. Make sure you eat all the turkey, drink all the things, whether or not they choose to, or you choose those to be spicy beverages or not. That's totally up to you. Please do so responsibly. You can find My Brother's an Idiot on Facebook. You can search that. That name will get you in. Just look for the black logo. You can also find My Brother's an Idiot on Twitch and Twitter at The Idiot Goons. Mark's Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok are at Poffletime. My Twitch and Twitter are at Puffalopagus. You can find me at King Goon Smoke. I just posted today some nerd content at King Goon Smoke that's getting a little bit of run. So make sure you go check that out, please. For MJ, we know you're there, but we can't hear you. We love you, MJ.
We love you, MJ.
And for the absent Muti, we love you, Muti.
We love the progenitor. We love you.
The Emperor. Make sure you take care of yourself. Bye, fools. And this is Bye, Fools, which is totally on brand.
Right.
Yep. Make sure you take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and take care of each other. This has been My Brother's an Idiot, and we'll catch you on Nerds That Know next week, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. And we'll scramble next week for sure. See ya.
Yep.
Bruh.
Bruh.
Spiders.
Bruh.
Spiders.
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 Oh, yeah. Spiders.